Hello, I'm Greg Freeze from EverydayEMSTips.com. I want to talk to you about a couple things. One is patients that are nauseated or they vomit, emesis you might call that. One of the important skills that you can learn as an EMS professional is learning how to recognize what I call the puke face. And puke face might involve a bunch of different signs and symptoms on your patient, or maybe even a bystander. Could be like sort of gum chomping, a lot of licking, swallowing. Maybe they start to swallow a little bit more frequently. I've seen kids get a little quiver in their lips, their face goes pale, or they start getting really sweaty, and then they get maybe you hear a little some of that, and then they vomit. And you have a bunch of different options when you see the puke face. You can hand them one of those, I guess, pink kidney-shaped Emesis containers, which to me is really just good for the patient to vomit over. They rarely actually make it into that, so it still ends up on their lap or the floor or you even. I've handed patients towels, and oftentimes a towel is just sort of like a ramp or a wick for the vomit to run down the towel and then drip onto the floor or onto the patient, or some sort of plastic bag or container. Clear plastic bags, it doesn't bother me, the sight of vomit, but a lot of people it really does bother them. Other people might be like, oh, look what's in here, showing it off. I want to show you an option that came to me recently. This product is called the Hurl Emesis container, H-U-R-L-E Emesis container, and it's pretty slick because it will open up into this large orange plastic bag, a lot of volume in there, and then the patient holds it over their face, and then it's got directions here on how to unfold. The patient could hold it over. It's pretty rigid, as you can see, and then they also added in these straps, so you could actually, if you have a patient that's seated upright and maybe they're getting a little bit sleepy or they're not fully in control of themselves, you could even put it around their neck so it's kind of hanging there, so when needed you can just sort of push it up to the patient's face. The Hurl handheld, hands-free Emesis container. There's even a way to get the approximate volume on here. I sent this to work with my wife who was a nurse, and she and the other nurses liked it because it wasn't clear, because of how rigid it was. And we're also hearing from a lot of other paramedics that really think this is a great product. The Hurl also available in a single size package, or you can buy in these, there's 6 of them in this package. You know, something you might do is just like any Emesis container. I do this when I've been on the ambulances. I unfold one and I just have it taped up against the wall next to the bench seat, and then when I start to see that puke face on a patient or a bystander, I just pull it off the wall and hand it to them, and it's there ready to go. So, a couple important things here before you leave. I'm Greg Freeze from EverydayEMSTips.com. This is the Hurl, H-U-R-L-E, and you can find them online by going to hurl-e.com. And if you've got other signs and symptoms that you think are good for detecting the puke face, make sure to let me know in the comments.